minutes to 8. Of course, you're just in time for the second segment of the show this morning. A very good morning once again, just in case you're joining us. This is Good Morning Boss right here on Boss TV. Quite a lot to discuss as far as the university, college, education sector is concerned. What are some of the concerns of the university students? What are some of the issues that they are facing currently, and what exactly do they want the government to do in a bid to try and streamline and give quality and standard to their education sector? Talk to us this morning. We'd like to get to hear what you have to say. Of course, there is that number below your screen. You can share your comments. Do, of course, move to our social media platforms as well. You can get us there on that very same end. You can, of course, share what you have to say. What are some of the questions do you have to my guest? And what are some of your experiences? You, as a university student out there, what do you think about the learning process? Do you agree to whatever some of the few details the government is giving out as far as the education in the higher institutions is concerned? And to help me shed some more light on this matter is none other than the Secretary General for the university, a body in Mombasa here. He will, of course, tell us which body is that. Of course, he is the Secretary General and is one Mr. Edwin Shamir. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
We'll go to COVID. How are you?
There's no COVID. Yeah,
right.
I'm fine. And I hope you are also doing well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, these two names are confusing me. Wewe ni Secretary General Edwin Shamir na kuna kule Secretary General Edwin Sifuna.
Edwin Sifuna.
No.
No, we are not related. I'm Edwin Shamir. I'm the Secretary General of Coast Region Universities and Colleges Students Association. Yeah.
Right. What is your mandate exactly? You know, mtu anaweza tatizika, hiyo post inamaanisha nini?
Okay, I think majority you are aware of the post of Secretary General as far as it's concerned. In Kenya, when you speak about this Secretary General, it's like you are the police officer of the body, because most of the time, most of the people target you to give a shot to anything. So, Secretary General, you are there to speak on and to stand in for the voices of the student and even also the other leaders.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. Now, speaking about the voices of the other students and other leaders that, of course, you are the one who is propelling them, if we begin to analyze and scrutinize the kind of situation that we have in our universities and colleges, specifically here in Mombasa, what would you say? Are things good, or what do you say?
Things are not good at all. Things are bad. And I can assure you, Mr. Shadrach, as we continue with this system, things will be more than bad.
Right.
Yeah, things will be worse.
Right.
Yeah, as for university students and the colleges within the coast region, no, I'm not only talking about Mombasa. I cover even the Taita Taveta University.
Right.
I speak for them. Yeah, I speak for their voice. And what we are seeing right now, the voice of the students is being infringed by the bad system, the government, and even the administration at the university, at the institution itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me the problem on both sides, the universities, the administration itself, and the government as well?
Yeah.
Right.
We face a lot of challenges dealing with the government when it's come to help loan, when it's come to fee waiver, and when it's come to the institution itself, some of the time we face some of the challenges, internal challenges. These challenges are, one, when it's come to fee payment, some of the institution comes up with their own guidelines.
Right.
Like you can find out that in Technical University of Mombasa, the moment you resume back to the university, you are expected to pay school fee 80%. So if you are paying a 60,000 fee, you are expected to pay 50,000 or 48,000 for you to start learning.
Right.
It's different. When you go to Pwani University, you are expected to pay 60%. When you go to Taita Taveta University, you are expected to pay 60%. But this time round, some of the universities, they are telling our students, at the moment you resume back, you will take a maximum of 2 weeks for you to pay all school fees.
Right.
So if it's 60,000, you are supposed to pay 60,000 school fee for you to start learning. Yeah.
And of course, that has been a problem for you guys.
It's abnormal. It's abnormal. As you can see, we have been affected by COVID. So our girlfriends have been rendered jobless. Our parents have been rendered jobless. Just imagine you are here as Shadrach and you are a student, and your girlfriend is the one paying for your school fee.
Right.
And she was a nurse. What will happen?
Very true.
Because some of the nurses in Kenya, they have been laid jobless.
Of course.
So we'll pay for your school fee.
Right. I like your example. You had to speak about girlfriends here.
Yeah. we must speak for them.
All right. And now, you know, maybe we who had, we were in college and we were in university a long time ago, but of course, those who are currently now in the university, how hard is it to be a comrade?
Living as a comrade, you know, we are being told that comrade cannot live like a chicken, but comrade must eat a chicken.
Right.
So what I'm trying to mean is you must live as someone where you are coming from, the background or your home ground, where you are coming from, you must be very different with that person who is staying there.
Right.
So you must live in a lifestyle manner. You cannot, we don't want to expect a comrade living in a lifestyle whereby difference between you and even someone who is pulling carts maybe at Kongowea. We want to see that difference, because this is someone who is intellectual, this is someone who is educated, this is someone who have knowledge about something.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a day I went through an article in one of the papers here, and they were talking about how the living conditions at the universities and colleges is worse, and they were comparing the two between being a comrade in the university and being a recruit at police, I don't know, whatever, Kiganjo there. And they're saying that life is better off in Kiganjo than in campuses.
Sure.
Is that true?
That one I will agree with you. I will give you some of the fundamentals which have reduced the lifestyle of the comrade to be in that pathetic state.
Right.
Number one, currently the government is coming up with so many universities. In fact, right now it is not advantageous for you to be called a university graduate, because between you and a kindergarten graduate, there's no difference. Because right now when you come to Coast Region, initially we used to have none. Zero university.
Right.
But currently we have Pwani University, we have Technical University of Mombasa, we have Taita Taveta University. Go to Central Province, you will find even some of the institutions, colleges and the universities, some of them, the state they are, is like a kindergarten. Some of the, even, you cannot even compare Makini Primary School to Technical University of Mombasa. You cannot even compare Makini Primary School and even Taita Taveta University.
Right.
Those people are living in a bush. Those people are sharing the same compound with the Tsavo National Park. So you want to tell me that you are putting a life of someone in that scenario? It's so pathetic.
Right.
Number two, the state, the government have let the institution down, whereby they cannot construct very many houses to house the comrades in the school perimeters.
Right.
I'm saying this because when you go to any institution right now, you will find out that out of 100% of the students, 80% of the students live outside the campus.
True.
Like in Mombasa, I will talk about Technical University of Mombasa, TUM. You will find out that majority of the students lives at Kisauni, Mshomoroni, Likoni, Mtopanga, those gangster estates. Maybe I can call them like that because when you talk about Kisauni, you are talking about Mapanga gangster. So the security, we are looking at the security of our students.
Right.
It is not good because some of the time the lecturer have ended the class around 8 p.m. And that comrade doesn't even have a transport to take her or to take him back to Kisauni. So it will force him to walk from Technical University of Mombasa to Kisauni, a distance of 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers. Along the way, they are going to find all those people, the brokers, the thieves. So they will do such a things like we have seen right now. We have cases of harassment,
right?
Police brutality. We have raping cases of our girls in universities.
Right.
So those are the cases we are dealing with the government, and the government, they have failed. They can't hear anymore the voice of the students, because we are speaking and we are calling them on the table. We want to discuss all these issues so that at the end of the day we find the solution. But there's no solution because the government, they are not ready to listen to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. The biggest concern that you were talking to me before we even came on set here is about security of the comrades, and a lot is happening as far as security of the comrades is concerned here. And just recently you are having a press conference to discuss on how you can relay that plea to the government and security officers. What exactly is happening around security?
Allow me to take you back a little bit. Recently, during the Sabasaba March, that was on Wednesday this week. Last week, I mean, we were at Parliament, Nairobi. And we as the comrade and the student leadership with other civil societies, human rights defenders, we gathered and we came up together to defend the right of our students.
Right.
Number one of what took us there, number one was the cases of police brutality, maiming of the students, raping of the students, and killing of the students. Majority of our students, you have had so many cases in Nairobi.
Right.
Students wanawawa because of maybe and this issue here, we cannot even blame the government at all. As long as we are blaming the government, but at the other end, we are supposed to blame ourselves as the students.
Right.
We have these cases of our ladies at the campus dealing with the sponsors, and these sponsors, the government cartels. These are the people who have corrupt the government, so they are taking a lot of money and giving our young girls, so they are running our ladies crazy. So at the end of the day, you will find a head of a lady maybe at Karura Forest,
right,
or maybe where in a certain bush like in Voi. So these are the cases which are increase the police, the insecurity of the students. Number two, the voices of the student.
Right.
Right now, we are living in a system whereby you are not allowed to talk about anything. You are not allowed to challenge the government, and that is the system of today. We want to go back to the system of James Orengo, Paul Umite, JJ Kariuki, whereby they used to challenge the government and the government sit down and hear them. But right now, that voice has been tattered and nattered because when you go to some of the institutions, and they see that you are vocal and you are pushing for the agenda of the students, they will just expel you, or they will suspend you.
Right.
You have seen a case of Pwani University whereby they expelled the student leader, Fikirini Jacob, and right now he's not allowed to go to any of the universities or any college.
Right.
They just rendered the degree, all his education has just been rendered useless.
Right.
So we are talking about all those things, because if the student leaders, they are not going to be secured their security and they are not going to be heard, then I don't see the need of the students electing us for us to go and speak for their behalf.
Very true. What does the government need to do now on that matter of security?
Number one, the government must employ strict security at the institution. Number two, the government must come up with a lot of constructions within the school compound, whereby we want to see them constructing a lot of buildings like hostels, so that the majority of the students, like 80%, can live within the compound. Because I'm very sure that when they do that, we are going to decrease the cases of the raping, police brutality, killing, and everything. So another thing, the government should come up and ensure that this act continue the way it used to be, like in 1980s. this act of cushioning the students, we have talked about it, and it seems President Uhuru Kenyatta is in a honeymoon.
Right.
He cannot get our voice, and he cannot understand what we are advocating for.
Right.
Because I will assure you, Mr. Shadrach, right now the life is very hard at campus. We'll find out some of the comrades, they are living in campus with a budget of 15 shillings per day.
Definitely.
Yeah, because 15 shillings, maybe this comrade is budgeting for breakfast, 5 bob, lunch, 5 bob, and even supper, 5 bob. 5 bob.
How possible is that?
When I talk about 5 bob, you are going to be served with a mandazi moja and soup ya maragwe, and that's the end of the breakfast or lunch or supper. So life has become very difficult for the comrade because there is no cushioning. When you go to the sector of help, the help officers cut off. It used to be 100%. Right now they're giving us 16,000 per month and that per semester, and that 16,000, when you divide it with for 90 days, it is not enough. You cannot even buy even a flower for even your girlfriend. It cannot cater for that. So we are challenging the government to come up with so many ways, like cushioning the student. We want to hear cases whereby the government is coming over and they're telling us, Professor Magoa is telling us that from today we are going to give students help loan like 100,000 or even 150,000 so that we can cater for our stay in the campus.
Right, very true. Quite a lot to discuss as far as the concerns over the students, leaders and students who are in campus and comrades who are in campus and colleges that we have in the country, largely so in the course in matters that pertains to higher learning institution. Now listen, if you're a comrade out there and of course would like to hear what you have to say concerning your experience in school, in your university, in your college, how are things like out there? Whatever Mr. Edwin here is explaining, do you feel like it's realistic or it's just kind of maybe adding salt on something, so to speak? But coming back to you, Mr. Shamir, somebody will even question whether if the things that you are raising as your concerns to the government and some of the recommendations that you are giving, some of them may not even materialize. Talk about the issue about health. You know, the country is grappling with the COVID-19 currently, and every single sector that we have in the country also has been affected largely by the COVID-19. So do you feel like some of these recommendations that you want may not even come to materialize? Let's face it.
I think we are not going to be fair enough when you are giving me an excuse of COVID. COVID is not an excuse to the government. This is something which the government lined up in their agenda, the blueprint. When the Jubilee government, they were campaigning in 2017, they gave us a blueprint which is going to protect the agenda of the students. You cannot tell me about the COVID when we are hearing cases of COVID billionaire thieves, when we are hearing some of the government officers, they are looting even more than the share of Coast Province, the land of the Coast Province.
Right.
As you can see, people have a lot of billions in under the table of their bed or whatever. People have stolen in this nation. So you cannot give me an excuse that we have COVID. COVID, which COVID do we have in Kenya? There's no COVID, I believe so, because if we put that an excuse so that it give the president and his cartels and looters to continue looting, then we are going to lose the face of the universities. And even, I'm telling you, and I want you to take me seriously. In a span of 5 years or 10 years, Kenya is going to be like Somalia. Right. We are not going to have doctors. We are not going to have engineers because the institutions have been curtailed. I want to give you one secret,
right,
and you will agree with me. When you go to University of Nairobi and you are coming from a poor background, or you are coming from maybe in Chonyi, where your mother is not capable to raise that school fee of maybe you are taking a course, you want to take a course of like engineering or law, you want to study law, you are not allowed to take that course because these high courses which they know you can be someone, maybe in the near future, you can challenge the government, you are not allowed to take that course.
Right.
They are giving that courses, those courses to the government officials. Like Shamir right now, I cannot go to university and tell the administration that I want to study law. They will tell me, boss, are you the son of James Oreng? Are you the son of Raila Amolo Odinga? Are you the son of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Because they know this guy, they will challenge us. Maybe in the some come 2 years or 5 years. Number 3, the government of Kenya have killed the institution, whereby we are putting cartels in the name of managers.
Right.
When you go to an institution, you have seen what is happening right now to University of Nairobi. Professor Kiama, the VC, is just coming up with his own amendments. He does not even consult the student leadership. It does not even consult the board of directors. It does not even consult the Senate. It does not even consult the students and the lecturers. It just come up with so many things given by the Professor Magoa and his boss, maybe Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So we are challenging all these people. If you know you are a manager, you are the VC of the institution where you sit, please understand the plea of the student. We don't want to hear some of the people just coming up with, tomorrow you will be your wife will tell you, and I want you to go to university and chase all those students to go back home. What will you do? If you are going there, you are just a puppet. You are listening to your wife. We want you to hear the voices of the students.
Right.
These are the people who are paying the taxes, and our parents are paying the taxes. Our parents are working so hard to ensure that the students get knowledge.
Right.
We don't want to be taken to university, then after the end of the degree or diploma, we are being given the brooms and rakes to do kazi mtaani. That's not our job, my friend. That's a job which someone who is a class 2 dropout or class 4 dropout.
But desperate times call for desperate measures, you know.
But that's why I'm telling you, how can you take someone to university, the government is paying for his school fee? You mean like serikali imekubali kuenda hasara, kuweka pesa zake mahali, then we wanajua ukitoka you are jobless. What is the government doing? We are not transacting any business at all. So if we are going to continue, and that's why I told you, we are seeing a situation whereby Kenya will be rendered a diploma, doctorate holders 0, PhDs 0, nurses 0, doctors 0, because we are not acquiring any knowledge when it's go to university.
Right.
Number 3, I want to take you back a little bit concerning the amendment. You know, all these things I'm speaking about, they are not just the issues of Shamir or maybe some 3 people sitting somewhere and just coming up with an issue. These are the issues we have presented to the National Assembly, that's the parliament. And when at the day of Sabasaba, we served the parliament with a petition. And the petition was speaking about the 2 things.
Right.
Number 1 was cushioning of the student. When you are a degree holder and you have completed, you have graduated, the government must give you 10,000 per month, a stipend of 10,000 per month.
Now, refundable or refundable?
It's not refundable. You are jobless, my friend, you are jobless. And you are supposed to stay, you are supposed to rent your house, you are supposed to have a girlfriend. How can you take care of a good girlfriend?
Right.
So the government must give you a stipend of 10,000 before they give you a job, because you are jobless. So we are challenging the government. You are the one who have taken us to universities. We have acquired knowledge which you want us to acquire. You have given us a lot of units to study, which we have done.
Right.
So if you are lazy and you cannot compensate us by giving us jobs, please give us a stipend of 10,000 Kenyan shilling per month for degree holders. For diplomas, we want to demand a stipend of 5,000.
Right.
So that at least, you have the one who have said here, that some of the students, the situation they live, even in Kiganjo is more than where they live. So we don't want to live in a Kiganjo way. We want to live in a serene and a suburb area. We admire to live in Karen or Nyali or Chuda Estate. Yeah, that's a situation where the students is capable of living, not in a situation like Kisauni and Mtopanga.
Very true. Right, we will be coming back to the petition that you had at least forwarded to the parliament during the Sabasaba rally this year. Of course, quite a lot there to discuss. But the question now begs, what if whatever you're speaking about here falls on deaf ears? What next?
My friend, forget about the demonstration which we have seen in Kenya carried out by Raila Amolo Odinga. This is a force, and we will force all the university students, even the primary kids, even the secondary school goers, we will force them to join hands with us. Because this is not the fight of Shamir. This is not the fight of Shadrach. This is a fight of your child.
Right.
Because if we don't amend it right now, in future it's going to be messy, it's going to be noisy. No one will admire to go to the university because there's nothing you are going to do there. Right. So we are telling the government, we are giving you until the end of this year. If you are not going to listen to us, then we are going to paralyze all learning in all our institutions, Kenyan-wide. And we are going to start with the University of Nairobi. You have seen what the VC have done there. He has called up this girlfriend as they are just coming up with some of the amendments which we don't know zimetokea wapi. So we are going to challenge Professor Kiama. You are not a professor, by the way. You are not a professor. Professors are inside the institution.
Very true.
So you cannot just come up with your own things and you tell us that from today, for you to start your units or to start your course, you have to give us 120,000 per month. My friend, where do you want me to take that money from? So we are telling the government and we are telling President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Right.
Please come forward and protect the blueprint which you gave us in 2017, the moment you were campaigning. We were not mad for Kenyans to vote for President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta or William Ruto. It is not your fault. And we cannot go back and say that now we are going to mistreat you because you voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. No, you are the president, you are the face of this nation. You are supposed to be in the front line to protect the interest of the students. Right. If you are not going to protect that, then we'll put Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as someone who is never went to school. In fact, I will say that these people, they have not even stepped into a nursery school. Because the situation they are pushing us to go, that's not the right direction.
Very true. Perhaps maybe to your view, it may not be the right way to go. But then there is something here that you're not speaking about so openly, and we must face things the way they are. And you'll hear also people saying that you university student leaders and association leaders, you normally kind of just refute everything. Any proposal that comes on board, you just go ahead and just, why is it so? There is no day I've had you guys come on board and say, okay, we do agree on this and this and this. The only time you come out, you lament about something. The only time you come out, you blame somebody.
We do agree. And in fact, we have featured so many talks with the institution itself, right, and even the government. I remember some few months when the director of health came up with some of the guidelines, stiff guidelines, and we requested the PS so that we sit down and we try to come up with the solution. And we agreed that instead of giving us, because we are demanding for 100%, and he told us, according to the situation of the country, it is very hard. So instead of 100%, we agreed to take 70%.
Right.
So you cannot tell me that every time we come here, we are just lamenting bad about the government. Number two, I think you heard about sometimes back when the government wanted to come up with some of the guidelines and rules at the university student anavaa uniform.
Right.
Tulikataa.
Shida iko wapi
we are not as equal like a kindergarten pupils or the primary.
But we have institutions. Talk about the colleges of medical. What do they call? Yeah, you see.
Now that's colleges, but not university. A real university student cannot wear a uniform.
I know of inside university, Technical University of Mombasa, there are those who put on uniform based on their profession they are doing.
Do you know why I'm telling you? Yeah, you have got it right.
Right.
This is because in university we study different courses.
True.
So if you want to tell me that everyone must be in an official attire, the way I am right now, it is very bad, because someone is studying architecture or engineering. That person is supposed to be in apron. So when you give that person a tie, a black shoes, so anaenda wapi? Right. He doesn't have a pen and a book, so anaenda kufanya nini? So that's what we are challenging. So the government is they are not reasoning. That's why I'm telling you, these people are not reasoning. And I think they have absorbed a lot of money which they have carteled from us. That's why they cannot reason anymore.
Right.
I think the president of this nation, it has come to an end. He cannot move forward. He's just there.
Right.
And he's just listening to some of the cocoons which is misadvising him.
Right.
And we want to tell the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and even the Professor Magoha, please, if you know that you have reached at that level whereby your people cannot tell you the truth, we want to ask you or to request you, please hire someone like Shamir to be your advisor. I will advise you well how you can run the institution.
You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm very sure. Not even Shamir himself, but we have like-minded people, the intellectual people like Fikrini Jacobs. Yeah, they can advise the president how things should be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, coming back to your petition, and you mentioned the first one that includes cautioning of the graduates, the diploma, I don't know, 5,000, the degrees students with 10,000. At what point did you, what factors did you consider that derived you to come up with those figures and the cautioning issue there?
You know, even if you go to US, the government of this country, that's Kenya, the constitution we are using, that's 2010, it was borrowed from the US, the European countries.
Right.
Everything we are using in Kenya, even a pad, even a pen, even some of the things even I'm not allowed to mention here. Everything, even like wembe, a razor blade we are using, it's come from the European countries. Kenya, we are not making anything. Then we are bragging ourselves that we have first worldwide university of Nairobi. Where are we?
We are not bragging, it is. No, we've seen the rankings.
Professionalism. So that's what we are arguing, because this act which we are pushing the government to consider,
right?
These things are happening in European countries. When not even European countries, go to South Africa. The moment you have completed the course, the moment you have graduated, the government of South Africa is mandated to take good care of you. They are supposed to give you a house before they give you a job. They're supposed to give you money for 15,000 shillings per month for you to take care of yourself.
Right.
And remember, majority of the students, I don't know if it's majority, but I think the ratio is maybe 30%. Some of them, after the moment they complete the university, some of them come up with their parents now. Umeenda umepeana mimba umezaa uko na mtoto, so you qualify to be called a father or a mother. So I'm a mother and yet I can't take good care of my baby. So what do you expect me to do? That's why we are seeing in some of the areas in Nairobi. By the way, some of the guys who are robbing people, they are not even the street boys. Some of them are the university students because they lack money, they don't have anything. So we are asking the government for you to decrease the ratio of insecurity and everything, maiming, raping cases and everything, early pregnancies. please, we are humbly requesting the government to come up with many ways to ensure that we have questioned the student, so that the moment they come out from the university, these people, they can reason as fathers, as a parent. Because I believe that even today, maybe I'm the firstborn of my family. My father and my mother have so many expectations from me. They expect me, the moment I complete the university, I will become the deputy parent of the family now. A deputy parent, what I mean, you are supposed now to take good care of your siblings, wale wadogo, from maybe primary or secondary. And if you fail to do that, you will see the abnormality from your father or from your mother.
Right.
Atakwambia vitu mingi sana. Wewe nilikupeleka, kumbe nilipeleka ng'ombe. Ng'ombe mwenye hawezi somesha hao wenye wamebaki. So you will be told so many things. So we want to challenge the government to come up with the ways whereby we are going to see the light of the day.
Very true. Right. And we are not believing that it could come to that state of where your parent maybe might use some weird words. Like
if they are not going to work on it, then we are coming to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. Remember, that is what we are discussing this morning. Quite a lot, Mr. Edwin here is trying to relay out the frustrations to be a comrade in a university or in our colleges that we have in the country. Few of the details that he is talking about here mainly may have affected you in one way or another, you as a comrade out there. And of course, like I mentioned, we'd like to love to hear what you have to say concerning the topic of our discussion, universities concern, and what are some of the few things that you are going through that, of course, you think the government can look into so seriously. That is what we are still going to discuss after this short break. It's time for me now to take that second breather. When we come back, we'll be coming up to sum up on that topic. Talk about the issue about whether if you're politically driven. You know, there are those who are saying maybe to some extent these are university leaders and the students are politically driven. What are some of the few details and how can we separate university from the politics? That is also what we are coming back to discuss after this short break.
As the sun rises from the east to the west.
You're joining us. Remember, this is Good Morning Boss right here on Boss TV. My name is Shadrack Ogega. As we are getting to engage my guest today, never disappoints when we are talking about matters to do with the university concern. And of course, he is one of the few leaders, student leaders that we are having in the county of Mombasa, talking about the fact that he is the Secretary General for the university body that he had mentioned earlier. He is Mr. Edwin Shamir here, discussing matters that, of course, are affecting the university students and comrades in one way or another. Coming back to you, Bwana Edwin.
Yes.
There are a series of amendments that, of course, you want them to be discussed, and of course, if you can share some bit of light, why are these amendments so key to you as a university students?
The reason why we are putting this amendment at the highest stake is because we are seeing the institution, the university, the way it is right now. It is not the way it was like the times of James Orengo or Paul Muite,
right,
and even Murkomen. So right now we are in a university whereby you cannot see someone coming out very strong and even opposing the government, whereby we used to do before, like James Orengo. Those guys, they were fearless. They can even face the President Moi and force him to do what Moi does not like to.
Right.
You see. So they have come up with some of the changes, and these changes, they affect the student body. One, there are this amendment called Duale Act, Duale Bill, in 2016. This act, it was passed in Parliament. And when these parliamentarians, they were passing this bill, they didn't consider the value of being a student leader.
Right.
They didn't consider what next after you are out from the campus. You know, once you are in a campus and you are the student leader, majority of the Kenyans and even the government, they just seeing you as a qualified politician.
True.
But that is not true.
But of course, some have...
We want to change the narrative. We want to see some of them coming out from the university, but they are being business gurus or even professionalism, whereby some of them are going to the field of engineering, and even some of them are becoming pilots and even contractors.
Right.
So not only being politics. You know, I do say that politics is a call. It's not something that you can go and study. You cannot go to university and study boldness or to be strong, but you go to study a course. And this course is maybe it's a business or engineering or lawyer or law, anything. And the main reason why we are seeing the bill or the amendment is infringing our rights. We used to be strong. We used to change to challenge the government. We used to be out in masses. We used to have followers. But right now, I'm telling you the truth, Mr. Shadrach. Even today, if I go outside there and I call a mass protest, I will have few students following
coming on board.
Because, number one, majority of the students in the campuses, they don't know their real leader because of the Duale Amendment Act. Duale Amendment Act, it says that a student leader is not allowed the popular votes, but you are being elected by the delegate system. A delegate system, it looks like this. In the campus or in the university, we have different schools.
Very true.
School of business, school of law, school of
social
sciences. So every school is supposed to elect 3 delegates to represent them. These 3 delegates are the one to go now and elect Shamir or any other person, a student leader. So you will find out that in other campuses, like in University of Nairobi, we have almost 33 delegates. In Technical University of Mombasa, we have 60 delegates. So you cannot tell me that 60 people are going to make a decision on behalf of the rest of the student popularity. And that I'm speaking about the number of around 10, 20, or even 100,000 students. Like in University of Nairobi, we have over 99,000 students. So 99,000 students, you are telling me that there are only 33 people are going to represent their interests. Now I'm seeing it in a different way.
Which way?
Let's believe that I've elected you as my delegate. Me as a general student, we are here and we have elected Shadrach. And we are telling you, when you reach there, kindly, Shadrach, for us to give you our vote, we want you to go and vote for Mr. Mutiso. So we have given you a burden to go and represent us. And by representing us, we want you to vote for Mr. Mutiso. Because to us, we feel that Mr. Mutiso is in a safer hand to champion for our rights, for our demand. Then you go there, now that you have become a delegate, now you start brokerage and cartelling with us, with our votes. You go there and you start engaging talks with some of the aspirants. Then at the end of the day, instead of coming back with Mutiso, you are coming up someone, a different person. So where have I exercised my right? Nowhere.
True.
Yeah. So that's what we are appealing to. We want to challenge that because we want to see a situation whereby every person is mandated to elect his or her leader in the university. You cannot tell me, and I want to challenge the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Some of the things is just a matter of reasoning. And I don't know how these people reason. Even Duale, I don't know even which school did you school. I hear that you went to Moi University School. And I don't know if Moi campus, you are taught to reason like a chicken seller. Because the way, the mentality you have is a mentality of someone who have not even qualified to be a student. Right now, we are approaching general election.
Very true.
The government cannot tell me that if my mother is sick or my brother is sick, I can take his or identification card or voter registration card and I go and vote on his behalf. It can't. I will be chased away. Wataniambia, this is not you. You hear? So it's the same thing they are doing in the campus. It's like they are telling us, I'm sick, now go and vote on my behalf. And it is happening. So we are challenging that according to the constitution, it is not allowed. And we are challenging this bill in two scenarios or perceptions.
Right.
Number two is about the issue of now engaging with the student. For any bill to pass through the House of Parliament, these people, they need to come back on the ground. They need to go and do something called public participation.
Very true.
Right now, even if we are passing the budget of Mombasa County, the county government, they have to go back to the grassroots level, ward level, to engage the voters. This is the budget, or what do you want to be added? What do you want to be added in this budget? Or what do you want to be excluded in this budget? For us, everyone to have his own opinion and his own right. So when Duale was doing this thing, he didn't consider the act of public participation.
Right.
He just cooked all his own things and went to parliament, and now that he was majority leader and they had majority of the parliamentarians, and even I believe money works in the parliament.
Very true.
People were bribed in the toilet, people were given 10,000, 5,000 for them to vote for the bill, which we are against. And surprisingly, recently when we were at the parliament, and we tried to even to engage some of the MPs, and I don't want to mention their names here. Some of them are clueless about this thing. In fact, one of them told us, Shamir, even I don't know anything about what you are talking about.
And perhaps maybe he had voted for.
Yes, he voted yes. In fact, he told me that we voted yes. And in real sense, when you ask him about the whole thing, he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
So that's why I'm telling you, it's the high time we elect people who understand what we want in this country.
Right.
We don't want to elect academic dwarfs. We don't want to elect people who are good in yelling baba or uru. Apana. We want change. And this change must come from the young people.
The question now is,
what
parameters are you going to use to go ahead with that bill that you are trying to oppose?
Now we are engaged and we have different teams. We have three categories. One category is dealing with constitution matters at the judiciary. We have followed the right channel, and we are engaging the judges of the High Court at Milimani. And we have our lawyers being headed by Roslyn Akombe, and is challenging the bill. We will try to persuade the government by following the constitutional way, whereby we don't want to cause chaos and to paralyze learning issues in the institution.
Right.
But I believe somehow we might not find justice. We might not find what we want through the constitutional way.
Right.
When we don't find it there, we are working on the Formula 2. And the Formula 2 is, we are trying to sweet talk the parliamentarian. Those who voted yes in the first stage, we want them to change their ideas. We want them to change the position which they took. So we have started engagement with certain MPs, parliamentarians, and at least, and I want to assure you, by the end of this year, we are going to have a good number. And we are not engaging them in terms of the way you are follower, or maybe if you are pro-Raila or you are pro-Ruto. We don't want to follow that direction, but we want to engage them in a sober way, whereby if you are Mheshimiwa Abdul Samad, we want to engage you as Abdul Samad, but not a member of ODM or someone who believes in Raila Amolo Odinga, or maybe if you are Mohammed Ali from Nyali, we want to engage you as the Nyali MP, as someone, as a youth who have gone to school and understand all these things. So we don't want to play politics, whereby some people will start saying that, oh, university, they are in the route of Ruto on the route of Raila Amolo Odinga. We don't want to go in that way, because I know if we go in that way, we are going to lose everything.
Very true.
Because the politics and everything, they will paralyze everything. Number three, if that one fails, number two, now we are going back to the street, and we are going to close all the institutions by early next year. And we will do that. We have the machineries. We are the people. And I know we are the majority in this nation. If we go to Nairobi city or Mombasa right now we have 11 or 13 institutions. That number is enough to block Governor Joe's office. That number is good to even block Nyali Bridge. If we block Nyali Bridge, where will you go?
Nowhere.
Tapitia wapi ukienda Kisauni ama ukienda Nyali? Yeah. So we are coming up with so many ways. And some of the tactics I'm not allowed to share here, because you will share with them and utakuwa umeniua kisiasa. Yeah.
And speaking about siasa, and at least you've spoken a little bit, saying that you want to do your stuff that maybe does not to be seen like you're on one side and another side. Does that affirm that you are not playing politics in any way, kind of way?
I think I have my own constitutional right to contest for any seat.
Right.
Right now, if I was above 35 years, I'm allowed to contest for the seat of the presidency, which I admire. In fact, I want to assure you, in 2027, you might see Edwin Shamir as a presidential candidate.
Very true.
Of this nation. Because I have those ambitions and I believe in change. We are championing for the rights of the youths. We have elected people at the parliament, at the county assemblies, in the name of the youth. But when they reach there, they start championing the rights of our old fathers, grandfathers. You can see right now, someone is being given a position of director of youth in the name of Mudi Awori, a 97 years old.
Right.
Raila Amolo Odinga is nominating his own brother, elder brother, 80 years old, the National IALA, East Africa Legislative Assembly in Arusha, to champion the agendas of the youth. My friend, what are you telling me?
Right.
We don't have youth.
Perhaps maybe I've engaged so much with the youths and I understand them, I have got the experience, don't you see?
Which language will Dr. Buru hear from me? Which language?
Which one, apart from English or Kiswahili, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing. Does even Dr. Oburu Odinga understand that even the students, they need to be cautioned? He doesn't understand.
Maybe he has kids.
Does even Dr. Buru understand the high taxes we go through even the institutions?
Right.
Does he even aware of the challenges of like raping cases of the students, maiming of the students?
The question is, Mr. Edwin here, we have a very youthful member of parliament here, the likes of Gichopevu. We have people like Honorable Sakaja. Don't you feel also they have done little in pertaining to the issues that you're talking about here?
Now you have asked me a very good question, and I thank you for that.
Right.
You know, the problem we are having in Kenya is about the party. We have someone and we elected an intellectual person whom we trusted that this person is going to champion for change. This person is going to fight for what we have been lacking in the decades.
Right.
But apart from the perception and the ideas of this person lives out the ideas and everything which we elected him to go and do, and start championing the party, the agenda of the party.
Right.
I will give you a good example.
Give me.
Someone like Babu Owino, who was a student leader at the university. And we used to see Babu Owino going to the street every week, championing for the right of the
students.
But right now, what we are advocating for Babu believes in it. But as long as Raila Amolo Odinga will tell him, Babu, I don't want to see you there, he will come and relax.
Right.
Because he believes in the party agenda. So what I will advise the young people, and even the general electorate, wananchi, huku nje, please carry your brain when it comes to election period.
Right.
When we are going to approach the election, we are going to vote for someone who is going to lead us. Carry your brain. Don't leave your brain at home, then you just go and vote blindly.
Right.
After that, then you start remember, oh, niliacha akili yangu wapi? You will not find that brain.
Right.
Because it has gone.
Very true.
It has been hawked, it has been brokered.
Right.
So the issue of the party, I want to urge my young people, my fellow youths, those who have an ambition of contesting in 2022. I'm not the one. I'm not going to be in the ballot. But those who have that ambition to contest in 2022, please don't look at the perception of the party.
Right.
We want to elect someone as the way you are. We don't want to believe that when we elect Shadrach through ODM, is the only way whereby you can articulate the issues at the parliament, or you can represent our issues very well. But we want to elect someone who believes in the ideas, someone who believes in the change. And that's the problem we are facing as a nation. Because right now, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as Jubilee and the Deputy President William Ruto, these people, we elected them under the Jubilee ticket. Some of the good MPs we have under Jubilee ticket, they cannot come out and stand for what is right.
Right. Because
they have been infringed by the party issues. If they go and talk ill about, you have seen what we have happened to some of the parliamentarians.
Very true.
The likes of Murade. Someone who even doesn't understand even a sentence in the constitution.
Right.
It's just expelling everyone. Just because you have gone there and you have tackled the issue of ideas and everything, the change. So you see, we have a very, very, very big problem in this nation.
Right. And the biggest problem also that we are facing as a country is unemployment.
Yeah.
And you, being the fact that you are one of the few university students, leaders that are there, I want to get your sentiments on how best do you think this thing can be tackled. Simply because we've not had this for the very first time. Every single year, at the beginning of, at the time at which we normally graduate, people flock into the job markets with a barrage of, what do we call, degrees, diplomas here and there, but the jobs are not there exactly. And the figures at which the country runs with unemployment issues quite huge. What do you think needs to be done here?
We have series of things which leads to high rate of unemployment in this nation. One, I will challenge the government. We used to have local resources, and that's why our leaders, and I will appreciate the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga fighting for devolution, bringing the government back to the near to your doorstep, whereby we are having Mombasa right now as the government as its own, Kilifi as the government, Kisumu as its government, or maybe Murang'a as its own government. But where's the resources?
That's the question.
That's the question. Where's the resources? I will tell you one or three things. In Coast Region, we used to have Korosho industry. We used to have Mombasa port, which was serving the whole of Kenya. And majorly it was serving the youths of Mombasa or the Coast Region.
Right.
When we go to Western, we used to have sugarcane industry. We used to have textile industries, Kikomi, so many industries there. But right now, where are these industries?
Nowhere.
They have been consumed by some of the cartels in the government. And those are the people who are yelling loudly. We want change. Give us back. Give back to the industry. Give us back our industries. You have killed our industry. They're the one who have looted this industry.
Right.
When you go to Western, we used to have Mumia Sugar Company, Chemelil Sugar Company, Awendo, Sony, name them. Nzoia Sugar Company. Right now,
none at all.
they have been eaten. Come to Mombasa. Mombasa port have been now transferred to Naivasha dry port. Where do you want the youth of Mombasa and the coast region to get employed?
What should we do now? Let's give out solutions.
Now, what the government should do, they must ensure that local resources have been prioritized, whereby these industries like Mumia Sugar Company, zimekuwa renovated. Mombasa Port, it should be given back to Mombasa people. Korosho, zifunguliwe. When we go to Central Province, cashew nuts, viazi and even miraa, they're supposed to rejuvenate this industry so that those youth who come from those areas, they can get employed in those areas. We don't need to go to Nairobi to get employed.
Right.
You don't need to come all the way from Busia to come to Mombasa to be employed at the port. We have Busia border, where you can get employed at the immigration office. We have sugar companies in Busia. We have so many industries where people are coming from, maybe in Nakuru. We have so many local resources. So we want President Uhuru Kenyatta to come up with so many ways to ensure that we have opened all these factories, all these industries, so that those youths who come from the university, they can get direct employment from this industry. Number two, I'll blame now the youths, because some of the youths have the mentality of going to campus to be employed. You need to go to campus and study what you can do to be what you want to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that you are in a campus, you have studied law, then you are coming back and you are begging for employment. You need to create that law in you. You need to be an entrepreneur. If you go to campus, you are studying business. We want you to come back and tell us, how can we create business industries within Mombasa? And how can you employ other people? No. Because we are having people who are studying engineering and even architecture. These people, you don't need to be employed.
Right.
You need to start your own company, so that you employ other people who did not go to school. So we are losing that act whereby so many youths believe that I'm going to university, I'm going to college, but at the end of the day, I want the government to employ me. We are going to employ you. If we have the likes of Oburu Odinga and Mudia Warrior occupying the government offices, we are going to employ you.
Not really.
So we need to create our own opportunities by positioning ourselves into the situations whereby we know at the end of the day we are going to generate income out of this business.
Very true.
Yeah.
Quite some bit of thoughts from you there. Now, I want you to, in a minute, as we part your part in government, and secondly, we have those high school students who are soon joining campus and our colleges. Also, you can speak a word to them, lakini usiwatishie, tell them life is so good as we finish up.
You know, it's funny enough that when we were at high school, you are not allowed to have a girlfriend. In fact, if a teacher gets you that you write a letter to a girlfriend, you will be caned or you will be suspended from the school. But I want to tell them that we are welcoming you to a higher institution whereby you are allowed to do anything, you are allowed to date. In fact, you are allowed to date a lecturer. A lecturer can be your girlfriend, and it can be vice versa. So don't feel intimidated, don't feel threatened that you are going to live a life of hostility and everything. Just be free and believe in yourself, and just know what you want to be in future. Don't come to campus and you want to be like Shamir. You will be expelled from the university because maybe you are not ready to pass through what I have passed. And my friend Shadrach, I have been jailed, I've been taken to court, mimi nimekatwa masikio, due to the struggle I've been pushing for the government. So if you are coming to the campus and maybe somehow you are saying that, oh, I must be Shamir. Maybe I don't know if you are ready to be kukatwa masikio and maybe to be harassed and intimidated and so many things. You have seen, we are discussing what happened to our brother Fikrini Jacob. He was expelled. So those young people who are coming from secondary school, believe in yourself and know what you want to do. Don't get to university and you involve yourself into drug addict, very bad things. You will not be able to complete your course. We want you to become someone who is intellectual, someone who have a meaning into the society.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Edwin Shamir.
Thank you so much.
Of course, we look forward to next time having another discussion with you.
We will keep exchanging the ideas, and I believe that you will be hosting us, even if it is not me, but my fellow colleagues who are championing for the same. We'll have that time to host them and also to share the ideas and maybe tell us where are we moving to. Yeah.
Very true, quite. There are a warm welcome to you guys, and of course, we'll also look forward to having more discussions like this. We do it right here every morning.
Okay.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You only find us on Good Morning Boss, right here on Boss TV. Quite a lot of important issues we will be discussing. Today we are tackling issues of education. Tomorrow we may have a different topic. But at the end of the day, we make sure that we inform you and educate you on various important issues that we have in our society. On that note, we want to bring the program into a wrap. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for those who had to share their experiences. We'll be looking at them as we get along with the day. Also, thank you to the entire crew for making this program a success, coming to you live from Boss TV headquarters in County 001, beginning with my producer, Mr. Bridgin Omondi, together with the cameraman here, Mr. Lubanga. He was so happy when you mentioned about girlfriends and university. He had to smile a lot. But of course, also on the other farthest end, we have our director, beginning with Mr. Abubakar, as well as Madam Josephine Zube. Thank you so much.